You guys got questions, we got answers. Hey guys, this is Darren Bates from T-Shirt Side Hustle. I'm here with my dad. And the first question is, where do you go from home to Atlanta?
What? That ain't the question, but today's question is very, very simple, and it comes from YouTube, and I don't have my other phone, so I'm going to work with it just like it is, and I believe it's verbatim, and it says, how do you make the prints last longer? But you guys know we can't answer this until the
next video.
The intro, bro, the intro. All right, don't forget to go ahead and do what?
Subscribe. And hit that notification bell and give us a thumbs up.
My boy Peanut said do it, so get it done. And I'll be back to answer your question right after the intro. Okay, so today's question is a very, very simple one. How do you make sure your prints last longer? Okay, most companies, and I don't think any company is out here putting out terrible products on purpose, right? And most of the time that your prints aren't lasting, whether it's vinyl, whether it's screen printing, whether it's sublimation, I don't think it's really a sublimation problem as far as lasting, but if it's not, applying correctly, it's usually a user error. But other things do go wrong. Sometimes you get bad material. Peanut, I'm answering the question.
That school bus hit that TS home.
Okay, thank you. I forgot where I was, guys. What was I saying? Yeah, so usually it's a user error, and sometimes you don't know what time, temperature, and pressure. I call it the Holy Trinity. I stole this from when I was learning photography. There was a Holy Trinity in photography, and when it comes to printing, there's a Holy Trinity. And the Holy Trinity happens to be time, temperature, and pressure. And you want to make sure that you're using the correct time, temperature, and pressure based on what it is, the material that you're using. Like Caesar gets pressed at 305 mostly, and it's a 10 to 15 second press. I like to err on a 15-second press with medium pressure. Whereas Thermoflex, if you're mixing mediums, Thermoflex goes at 320 for 10 to 15 seconds. Medium pressure as well. So I usually, if I'm mixing my mediums or mixing my brands or something like that, I usually err on the side of the more temperature. Sometimes you have garments where they can't withstand the amount of heat that you need in order to press them. So if you drop the temperature down to, let's say, 290, then you need to increase the time, and you need to test it. You need to test and see what exactly is going on. As far as the pressure goes, you guys know, if you don't know, I've said it before, I like to err on the side of too much pressure, high pressure. If you don't have one of those expensive presses that actually tells you the PSI based on when you close it, then you have no idea. So it's all based off of judgment. So what I like to do is I like to tighten the press till I can barely close it, and then loosen it till I can barely close it, right? So what I mean is, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. What I like to do is I like to tighten the press up until I can't close it at all. So I can't close it, and then loosen it slightly until I can barely open it, barely close it. This way, you can just be sure that you're getting the maximum amount of pressure that you can apply to the garment or whatever the case is. And when it comes to that, sometimes it makes a press very, very hard to open. It's very taxing, and this is where that Pro World press comes in. Or some presses like the Craft Pro and the Tushy press, they have that handle at the bottom. I'll make sure I put some links to some of the presses, and make sure you go check out the review videos on the presses. Get yourself a temperature gun. So sometimes you cannot trust what the temperature gauge on the back of your press is reading. You can't trust it sometimes. So what I like to do is just check my temperature with a gun, every so often, and you'll be fine when it comes to that. Somebody got very, very smart and said, what if your temperature gun is not reading correctly? Well, you know, you can only do so much, right? I can make sure the press is right, and I have to go figure out. So let me say I test my my temperature gun on the oven. I put the oven at 350, and what if the neither one of them is working? What if the oven is off and I'm using that as my absolute zero, my correct thing? So it's like one of the things that go off, but we're gonna assume that the temperature gun is as accurate as you can be, and you want to make sure you're close to the element, not far away, not shooting from across the room or anything like that. Make sure you're close to the element when you're checking the temperature, and that way you can be sure that you're getting the best possible reading as far as that goes. When you're doing sublimation and different things like that, you need to be somewhere between 375 and 400 for anywhere from 30 to 10 minutes, depending on the substrate. I've seen some glass stuff is like 5 minutes and different things like that. And if you're doing any type of patches embroidery, if you're doing any type of thicker substrate that needs to be applied, sometimes you got to apply it as well, apply it to the front to get it to hold in place, and then flip it inside out to actually get it to cure, like, sorry, some of the brick and dimension from Thermoflex and brick from Caesar, or maybe like some of these chenille patches that I make. You can make sure you press the inside just to give yourself a safe bet. But usually on it, when your prints are not lasting long, like these companies aren't out here putting out BS product on purpose. They're trying to make money. They're trying to get a good reputation. Although there are some errors sometimes in materials and stuff like that, what ends up happening is sometimes you know, you do get bad material, but usually if things aren't applying right or are coming off or something is going wrong, it's usually on the side of error of the user, a user error. If you're screen printing, you want to make sure you're curing at the right temperature for the right amount of time. You want to make sure you test it. Anything you're doing, make sure you test it for the first time. You can go with the company says, but everything's going to vary based off of the equipment used and how accurate and how much pressure, all of this stuff that I talked about. So
Guys,
this has been a very simple answer.
Guys,
Yeah, go ahead, Peanut.
make sure you get the heat press.
Yes, make sure you get the heat press, and I'll put a link to some of those down in the description. You guys know the ones that I've reviewed so far, and I'm going to be opening up to doing some more. I'm going to open up that next tier. I want to get 2 more entry-level presses, probably one from Amazon. I'm trying to find another company to hop on board. So if you know one that you want to have reviewed, make sure you put it in the comments down below. And what must they do now, Peanut?
They should hit that thumbs up button.
Hit that thumbs up button. What do you do to make sure that your decorations apply and stay on? And if you have a question, ask the question. I've been out. I not lost the phone. I broke another phone. Had all of my content in it. I'm going to head to Apple and see if they can fix it. Just stopped cutting on. It did have a cracked screen for a little bit. I'm not sure why it stopped cutting on, but I'm going to see if Apple, I don't need to save the phone. I can get a new phone, but I need them to salvage some materials. I do use the cloud. I got that suggestion. You guys start using the cloud. I do use the cloud, but at the same time, it's so much data and content on there that, you know, the videos be so long that, yeah, they might be gone.
But if my dad buys a new phone, I can't get my hoverboard.
Yeah, I told him that, but for his birthday, which is in, you know how many days your birthday's in?
Mm-hmm.
How many?
5.
No.
How many?
Today is Tuesday. Your birthday's on Friday. Wednesday, Thursday.
My birthday is on July 4th. July 12th.
It's on Friday.
My birthday is not on Friday.
Bro, today it's on, your birthday's on Friday, bro. Okay? Today's the 9th. That's 3 days away, all right? All right, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Me and my boy Peanut. He said make sure you get that heat press. Make sure you hit that like. Subscribe if you like this video, because I do stuff like this all the time. And I mean all the time. Hey,
Daddy,
and buy me a coffee. And Peanut likes hot chocolate. What's up?
do you, can we eat at somebody's house?
Yeah, we about to go eat right now. All right?
Okay.
Peace.
Please. Hey guys, this is the
Nope. Wrong intro. You gotta do the whole thing. You guys got questions, we've got answers. Hi guys, this is Stan Banks from T-Shirt Side Hustle. Today I'm here with my dad answering questions. Come on, sit up.
Let's do it again.
Go ahead.
Hey guys, this is Stan Banks.
Nope.
Today
Nope. You guys got questions?